Hey yo, West with it. It's your boy Dangel Beats, and you are in tune with Why I Make Beats. We are here to kick off season number 1, and we're gonna start it off with my man Muffla from LA Posse. Get ready. Why I Make Beats. Right now, hey, look who just tapped in. West with it, sir.
What it do, man?
Oh man, we all good. We all good. How you feeling, bro?
Oh no, you the hog with the big nuts.
Oh man, nah, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. Stop it.
Man, you don't want to do that.
Ah.
That shit hurt.
Stop it. Hey man, I want to thank you for coming on and blessing me with this, bro.
No doubt, no doubt. Any day, all day. Any friend of Ali's is a friend of mine.
You already know.
That's right.
My man, thanks for coming in and blessing me with this opportunity to hear your story today. So you know how I do it, we just gonna get right into it. Tell me, why do you make beats?
Why do I make beats? It's in my soul, dude. Let me tell you, it it goes back to pretty much everybody has the same story, kinda. But I know my story is generic. My story is back when we were sitting at park benches and picnic tables and stuff. You know, I used to bang on the beats and all that stuff. All that stuff stayed with me. And when I finally got my hands on a drum machine, it was like, okay, everything I've been doing since I was 6, I'm fixing to knock out on this drum machine. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I
right.
just caught out. I just caught up, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It just, I always tell people the music industry chooses you. You don't choose the industry. So it
Right.
chose me, and here I am.
Like so, like what age would you say you was when you snatched that drum machine up and got cracking?
I was 20. I'm gonna say 23. I was
23.
23. My first drum machine was a Dr. Rhythm, a DR 110. It was about the size of a cell phone. That was my first. That was my first drum machine. But after that, I went to the 707, the 727, the 808, the Lin drum. Every drum machine that you could think of, I started just messing with. You know, go up to Guitar Center and just spend hours just beating on their shit. You know.
Right. So when you got into your drum machine, what makes you take it to the next level to try to work with an artist?
Trying to get to an art. Well, I started out with just generic beats, like the Dr. Rhythm was already pre-programmed. You just, you could manipulate them a little bit. But then
Okay.
when I got the 808, I started coming up with my own, rhythms and my own cadences and my own style of drums. And I didn't know anything about sampling yet. The sampling wasn't a thing yet. It was just, making hard beats. Just something that was, you try to make something that's different, but you really, that's why you can't copyright beats. I mean, there's only so much you can do before it starts not to make sense. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's, it, I just, man, that's the way it was, man.
So on your quest, at what point did you get into the mainstream? Come across, say, someone that actually got you heard.
Okay. I started out with this one beat I did for an artist. You may remember him. His name was Breeze.
Yo, can I go too, man? Get out of here. Get the burgers, wimpy.
It's time to rhyme, keep it in mind. I'm gifted with the strength to go the length, and if it's
Breeze, MC
Yeah,
Breeze.
MC
Yeah.
Breeze, LA Breeze. That's my boy. And we started
LA.
out, yeah,
You,
exactly. But his first beat that I got us all heard, myself, Big Dad, Breeze, it started pretty much the LA Posse on that road was this song we did with him called Popcorn. And it was with the 808. And
okay.
it got into the hands of Russell Simmons at a music seminar, and the rest that's a whole nother story. But it was the 808, it was Breeze. We got it, like I said, we got it in front of Russell. And but I didn't really the Egyptian Lover started me on the 808, but he
Yo,
always did the fast stuff. I was a slow beat guy. You know what
okay.
I'm saying? So um we we went there, but I didn't really get into the intricacies of the 808 until I got to New York and got with Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin is the one that unlocked the key. He had the key to, unlock a whole bunch of magic on the 808. I didn't know all the 808 could do all that stuff until I got with Rick. Rick showed me a lot, and then I passed that knowledge forward to Chill Will with the Get Fresh Cook with Dougie Fresh. He
Right.
used to ask me, he said, "How do you make the 808 swing?" And Rick, the one that taught me how to do it. So I showed it to him and pass it forward.
So tell me, what was it like working with Rick and Russ and the whole Def Jam crew? Some iconic people right there.
Right.
What was that feeling like, for you?
Man, it was I can't say it's surreal, but it was just it fit. You know what I'm saying? Everything God has a purpose, and your steps are ordered. And my steps was ordered because I really was blind, didn't know what I was doing. And I was just led by God, just everything that just fell into place, one right after another. We got in front of Russell, bam. We got to New York. Russell sent us to New York. Bam. We working with Breeze. Bam. We started working with LL. Bam. Working with Rick, working with Run DMC. It was like knocking down dominoes, and and being in Chung King, working with Steve Ett, the most prolific and most incredible uh, hip hop, no, I'll just say engineer, period, in the history of hip hop. But working with Rick and working with Steve Ett, that right there, that's hip hop 101 right there.
Okay.
That's the School of Hard Knocks right there.
Okay.
That's hip hop.
Right, right. And what was it like working with Run DMC?
Uh, I actually I met them in LA. Their first time ever coming to California was
Okay.
through Uncle Jam's Army Dance. They came to the LA Sports Arena, and my cousin Roger, rest in peace, Uncle Jam's Army. We brought him out, and that was my first contact with them. But when I got to New York, Jam Master Jay pretty much took us under his wing. I mean, Jay was one of my best friends in New York. Him and Jaleel from Houdini, those were my guys as
No.
far as East Coast, West Coast. But working with Run was in it was pretty easy actually. The first thing I did with him on a one-on-one basis was Beats to the Rhyme. Jam Master Jay was out of town. Run wanted to go to the studio. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I was up at Rush. We always hung out at Rush. And he said he wanted to go to the studio. He said, Muffy. He always used to call me Muffy. Muffy, come to the studio, man. I got an idea I want to lay down. And I went to the studio. I always kept my 808 in the trunk of my car.
Right.
And I went down there and we knocked out Beats to the Rhyme.
Man.
But it was easy working with Run DMC. And I worked with Jam Master Jay on the Real Roxanne project. Him, myself, and Big Dad. We worked on Real Roxanne, and that was that was fun. That was an interesting, because working with Jay is so much easy. Jay has so much knowledge, and he was really, really easy to work with.
So, what were some of the rougher times that you went through on your quest?
The rough times, wow. Okay, that's in the same. That's in the same as the good times. Basically, I
Hey, well,
mean,
people don't get our stories. You know what I'm saying? We
yeah,
all
they
know
don't.
about the artists, but they don't know about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
They
the
finna
same
know you.
thing. Pretty much when we got to New York, um, it was we were staying at this hotel. It was a raggedy hotel called the Collingwood in Midtown. And when Daryl and I got there, and Breeze had family up in Harlem, so he had a place to stay. So we were staying at a hotel, me and Daryl, and we only had maybe $300 between the both of us. So every morning our breakfast was a short dog of Old English. We remember the short can and a piece of carrot cake. That's what we ate every morning. And then for lunch, we would eat the hot dogs that they have on the corner in New York, little hot dog vendors. That
Right,
was our
right.
lunch every day, and that was our dinner sometimes too. But we had we I guess Russell really got tired of us coming to him. Like, well, you guys ain't got no money. I'm like, no, Russell, we don't have any money. We're gonna have to go home if something don't crack here in a minute. So Russell said, look, whatever you guys spend, keep your receipts, take them to Burt Purdell. He was the accountant for all of hip hop, pretty much in New York. And he said, take them to Burt Purdell, turn in your receipts, and he'll reimburse you the money. So I'm like, we from California, we don't want to mess nothing up. So we real honest, you know what I'm saying? We had the $300, we take him $300 in receipts, and he reimburses. But after about a week or two of that, man, New York will get on you quick. So we was picking up receipts off the ground. And so we went from $300 to about $4,000 the next week. You know what I'm saying? So
Man.
that was one of the rough times because everything that we had, we was we get out, we leave the hotel. I didn't want to leave my stuff in the hotel, so I carried a duffel bag. I had my old military duffel bag full. It had my drum machine on in it, clothes, had those old, those thick 2-inch reels. I had reels in it, all that stuff we had brought from California. And so that was one of the roughest times with us as far as hip hop was concerned. And then I think that would be, pretty much it. Other than that, we haven't had too many rough areas, unless you, like I say, being in New York and not knowing where you're at. I mean, when we first got to New York, that was rough. That was our first lesson in New York. New York will get you. Our first
Right.
lesson was we tried to play with the 3-card Molly guy. We had
Uh-oh.
lost maybe $100 within the first 30 minutes in New York. It was crazy.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, you know what? These motherfuckers ain't robbing me. Let me get out of here. So that was rough. So
Right,
it
right.
wasn't too bad, but
Let's take it back a little bit.
So, tell me about Uncle Jam's Army.
okay. I don't know if a lot of people don't know, but Roger Clayton is my first cousin. He's the
Oh,
co-founder of Uncle Jam's Army. He's the pretty much the hip hop guru of the West Coast. I feel, Roger was Russell Simmons on the West Coast before Russell Simmons was on the East Coast, basically.
okay.
And
Right.
I started, you know, in in the late '70s, early '80s. I started going to the house parties with my cousin, and it grew from there. Me personally, I was just happy to be there. It's just a case of being in the right place at the right time. Because, like I say, the industry chooses you. You don't choose the industry. And my cousin Roger, he was already deep into music. Music was his thing. He listened to the radio. I remember when he used to come out to my grandparents' house during the summer. You know how cousins spend the summer in the cousin's house. And he came out, and I lived in Little Rock, which is right outside of Palmdale in California, and he lived in LA. So back then, the radio station was KGFJ, and a little bit of K-Day. And he would try to get the station on the radio in the car, and it was real staticky, but you could barely hear it. And he would sit there and listen to that static. But he could hear the music barely. And that's what he would listen to. But then Roger was a music man. I don't know. I guess guru it would be the right terminology for Raj, because Raj was a
Right.
walking thesaurus when it came to music. I mean, he could tell you who was on the label, who wrote it, what year it was written, what studio it was, the whole nine. He could give you all the information. So being with Uncle Jam's Army, it opened up a lot. It opened up all the doors for me as far as entertainment business was concerned. Missed that guy too.
Shit, we all miss that guy.
Yes, sir.
He responsible for a lot of music that we hear today. You know what
A
I'm saying?
lot of
A
careers,
lot.
a lot of doors
Between
were
him
open
and
for a lot of
George,
great.
between him and
Yeah,
George,
man. Who?
nonstop. George Clinton.
Oh yeah. Well, Roger actually got permission from George to use that name, Uncle Jam's Army, because we were Unique Dreams Entertainment in the beginning. But then
Ooh.
he actually asked George, and George gave us his blessing, so it was cool.
Hey, that's a history fact for some peoples right now. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
Now, I know you heard this before, but LL Cool J, what was it like working with him?
Working with LL taught me discipline in the studio. The kid was disciplined. When it came
Mhm.
time to work, it was work. And it was good work. It wasn't never frustrating. It wasn't a headache. We would stay in the studio until we came out with something hot. If our heads wasn't nodding, if your neck wasn't sore from bobbing your head for hours, you stayed in there until it was. And
Right.
I've never seen anybody that could write as prolifically as LL. He could write a song in 5 minutes and knock
Mm.
it out. Write it on a piece of toilet paper and just take the toilet paper and just throw them on the ground as he's reading them. And there's our demo, and the next day we'll mix that bad boy down. But working LL, the work ethic, that's what I learned from him. That the work, don't nobody work harder than him. He's the hardest working man in hip hop, I think.
All right, so tell me, what do we have to look forward to from you in the future?
Right now, I just actually released an album, two albums actually. One was called Suspicious Packages 2. It's a combination of all the music that I had, come across during my retirement. I had retired from music in 1998 and
Okay.
started coaching football. Just doing high school youth football, and then went to high school football. Now I own my own semi-pro team. Um,
Dope.
so the North County Zulus, look out for them. We the business.
Nice. North
Uh,
Cali Zulus. Y'all look out for
yes,
that.
yes, most definitely. And I was the GM for the High Desert Phoenix. Went on and got my own squad. And it's but then when I came back, I was just watching just the something that I feel that I helped build as a pioneer in hip hop. I was just watching it go down in flames. And I'm like, you know what, let me just, you know, test the waters to see what's going on. And all the music that I had come across, I decided to put some of that stuff out. And that album is hot. I mean, because me personally, I don't like the stuff that I do. That's how how I critique my stuff. If I
Okay.
can listen to it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks without getting tired of it, it's good stuff. So this particular album, Suspicious Packages 2, um, I listened to it for almost a year and never got tired of it. So I said, all right, let me drop this. Great songs on it. Got Melee on there, Breeze, uh, Big Jock, Pride Rock, John Michael. Oh, Doc Ice from UTFO is on there. Um, Nutcase. I mean, there's a lot of talent on that album. But then I was gonna do a series, Switchback is 2, then Switchback is 3. But then I
Okay.
had a lot of R&B stuff that I had not released, so I decided to do a Suspicious Packages 2.5, which is mostly R&B, and that
Okay.
album is hot. So, but the next one coming out, Suspicious Packages 2 was mainly West Coast stuff. It was West Coast beats, a lot of West Coast artists. Like I said, I had Doc on there. He was East Coast. But Suspicious Packages 3, that's going to be all East Coast. I'm going to pull my favorites, call my friends on the East Coast, and we're going to make that thing happen.
That's right. That's right.
That'll probably
Okay.
be next year.
Sounds dope.
Yes, sir.
So let's get back to MC Breeze and the LA Posse.
How did you come about the whole LA Posse thing?
Here's the story. And this is part of the Russell Simmons story, too.
That's where
You remember the BRE?
Right.
Yeah, okay. We went to the BRE and Russell was there, of course. It was a whole lot of, everybody was pretty much, it was a Sunday and it was the last day of the BRE. People were checking out and everybody was up in the lobby at the, I think it was the Universal Hilton. And everybody was the Sheraton. And everybody was in the lobby and Russell was there. He had a boombox. And everybody was bringing him cassettes back then. Bringing him, yeah, play my cassette. And he would just listen to them, listen to like, 5-10 seconds of it, throw it, and I mean, diss it. This is trash. This is bullshit. Yeah, throw this away. And he wouldn't hand back their tapes to him. He'd throw it like, here, get this shit out of here. So what did we have to lose? I had the tape of Breeze, the popcorn song. And I handed it to Russell, and everybody's sitting around waiting for us to get our face broke too, pretty much. And so Russell put the tape in, and he played it for like 15 seconds. Then he stopped it. And I got a catcher's mitt. I'm ready to catch my cassette. He's about to throw it. He's like, no, he rewound that shit and played it again. And he's like, who is this? I said, this is me. He said, oh, Dwayne. My name was Dwayne. It wasn't Muffla back then yet. And
Okay.
he said, what is this? This is you? He said, who's with you? I said, me. And Breeze was standing next to me. I said, it's me and Breeze. And then my homeboy, and then Big Dad was there. I said, oh, yeah, and my boy Daryl. And he said, look. And that's when he had Bill Stephanie and Gary Harris, rest in peace. Gary Harris was with him. Those were his assistants. And he said, Gary, call Heidi. Everybody know who Heidi is at Def Jam. Call Heidi, tell him I want these guys in New York next week. And we became his act. And there was one last party, the Columbia party that night. He told us, come to the Columbia party. I'm going to introduce you guys as my new act. Here's my credit card. You guys can have anything you want. I'm like, okay. To us, it was like, okay, in there, one ear out the other. We were just happy to be in the room.
Right.
And we went to the party. That was on a Sunday. Tuesday morning, we were in New York. Tuesday morning, and from then on, it just went.
Nice.
And that's actually how we ended up working with LL. We were working with Breeze, and Breeze had pretty much hit a wall. I mean, we were in there for like 30 days, just every day, all day at Chung King, just making track after track after track. And Breeze pretty much hit a wall. So Russell sent him home, but he was sending our work home. And we were like, okay, well, what do you want us to do? He said, I want you guys to go in the studio with LL because they were shooting the Tougher Than Leather movie, him and Rick. And they didn't have time to go in the studio with LL. And LL was anxious. He was like, he don't want to wait on nobody else's career. Later for Run DMC, it's all about LL. So he wanted to go in the studio. So Russell sent us in, and we were just basically supposed to keep him busy until they finished with the Tougher Than Leather movie. So we was in the studio for 2-3 months. When they finished the movie, Russell called us and said, all right, I want to hear what you guys have. And he sent a car for us. We were riding around New York, listening to a cassette of what we had. And we played him I'm Bad, I Need Love, and some other songs that didn't even make the album. And Russell hated I Need Love. Hated that song. He said it was New Edition bubblegum bullshit. And but LL fought for that song. We had to fight LL in the studio to actually make the song. Daryl and Bobcat. Because LL wasn't going to make another love song after I Want You and I Can Give You More off the radio album. He was like, I ain't doing that no more. I said, dude, we love that shit in California. So he's like, all right, I'll do another one. And we made I Need Love, and it's probably one of his biggest songs to date. But Russell hated it. We fought for it. It came on the album. And if you notice, I Need Love was never a single. You had to buy the album to get the I Need Love, get the song. And that's what actually pushed it over 3 million. You had to buy the album. I Need Love was the one. Because radio was playing I'm Bad. That's the song that Russell sent. But radio jumped on I Need Love.
Right.
And the rest is history. It made history.
Yeah, you was part of some good stuff, bro.
Yes, sir.
You did some real good work, man. I like everything you've done. You know what I'm saying? I feel blessed to be sitting here talking to you right now. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate, it's an honor to me. I'm a real humble guy, man. Anytime somebody wants to interview me and want me to tell my story, I'm glad to do it, man. Because I mean, I like sharing my story. I, Anybody that wants to listen, I got a story for you, especially road stories. Get with Jalil from Houdini. He got road stories.
Road story.
You remember these panties? I threw them and hit your face. And you said, what? Yes. Hey, yo. He's mine.
So tell me about them good old days back in the hotels.
In the hotel life,
Yeah.
you must have heard about you must have heard about Straggler Hour. Let me tell you what Straggler Hour is. Back when you do a show, and you go back to the hotel, most of the quote unquote groupies are sitting in the lobby waiting for you to get back there. So in the beginning, the rookies on the road, they were like, hurry up and get you, a companion, so to speak, and grab one and take her upstairs or whatever you're gonna do. And it got old quick, not knowing that all you had to do was wait. You wait because a lot of girls, they didn't get picked to go and hang out with so their girlfriends were downstairs in the lobby. And they would be sitting there because the ride is upstairs getting whatever they get. So they just sitting in the lobby till 1, 2 in the morning. So after the show, you could go in, take a shower, take a nap, do whatever you want, and get up about 1:30, 2 o'clock, Straggler Hour, go downstairs and see who's downstairs in the lobby waiting. Grab you one and make it happen.
Now tell me about the La Park.
The La Park Hotel? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody been talking to you. La Park Hotel, that was one of the most infamous, the most famous. All the artists that came in town would always go to the La Park or the Franklin Suites. But the La Park was the spot. Because it was in the cut. It was right off of La Cienega, the next street over. And if you drive right by it, you wouldn't even know if it wasn't there. It looked like a park, but it was a hotel, and that's where everybody went. That was the spot, man. I mean, I've seen Judd Nelson. I've seen so many entertainers that you would think they would be staying at the Four Seasons or something. No, La Park was in the cut, and they loved it. It was really special. The La Park Hotel. I'll never forget the La Park at all.
So tell me this: working with Houdini now, why is the show still so magical?
Consummate professionals. Jalil is a perfectionist. X was, rest in peace, one of the most talented MCs, entertainers, period, in hip hop. And we're going to miss him. But Houdini's not dead. Right. Houdini's not gone because X is gone. Houdini's going to be here. As long as we can keep Jalil upright and keep that energy, Houdini, we got some surprises for you. I can't let you in on the deal yet, but Jalil told me to keep it quiet. But Houdini is going to come back with a vengeance. Watch. You guys are going to be like, damn, this niggas came with it. So Houdini will always have magic, something up their sleeve. Presto. Watch.
I guess, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait, bro. Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
So, you got new projects. You done work with pretty much all the top guys out there. New projects. You done work with pretty much all the top guys out there. And so, where you go from here? I know you coaching football. You got your team. What's next?
Football, but as far as music is concerned, Young Melee. Watch out for Young Melee. Everybody know who Melee is. CJ from Grove Street. Melee, King T, General Jeff and I are working on an Uncle Jam's Army project, an album. And I'm not going to leak who's on it. He told me to shut up about it, but we got some heavy hitters on that album. Heavy hitters for the Uncle Jam's Army project. Watch. Look for that late fall. Late fall will be.
Look, we got a question from our studio audience. You want to answer that?
Who is
Good
that?
looking
Somebody
out.
said, is Roger the godfather of West Coast hip hop or shared with Alonzo and Greg Mack? Okay, here's the deal. Yes, Roger is the godfather of West Coast hip hop. It's not Alonzo, it's not Greg Mack, although they contributed tremendously. But without Roger, there's no Greg Mack and there's no Alonzo. Without Roger Clayton, those are just two guys. Greg Mack is just a radio personality. And although Greg was great, Greg came up with the mix masters, K-Day mix masters, all that stuff. Greg did his thing. But without Roger, none of that goes down. None of it. And that's all I got to say about that. And I have much respect for Alonzo and Greg. No disrespect whatsoever. But if you want to keep it 100, now, mind you, Alonzo and Roger worked together a lot. A lot of people don't know that. They worked together on a lot of projects. But I could see Roger being successful without Greg and Alonzo, but I can't see it the other way around. Without Roger, no, none of that shit.
Facts.
That's the way I see it. That's fact.
Hey, yo, it's about that time. We got to check in with my co-host, Yo, Aphro, and see what's happening out there in the ATL. Yo, Aphro, what's going on with you? What's happening out there in the ATL?
What is good? What's good, good peoples? It is your girl, Yo Aphro, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be a part of this. Why I Make Beats, coming to you from the ATL, and I am bringing you some of the hottest producers.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I can't wait to see the interview that you got going on out there with Trife and them.
But for real, Trife got some shit up his sleeve. And I'm telling you, he is one of the hottest producers out here in Atlanta that needs to be talked to, needs to get noticed, needs to get out there, because he got some shit for your ass. I'm telling you, Junkies ATL is what we got, and that's coming to you first.
But I'll tap in with you a little bit later. I'm finna get ready for Muffla to come up in here so we can hear his fabulous story. So I'll tap back in with you later, sis.
It's Yo Aphro, and you're watching Why I Make Beats. Ooh.
No, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I feel you, bro. Hey, Muffla, Mr. Muffy.
Yes, sir.
I really do appreciate your time, bro. You know, we're gonna wind it down now. Normally, if you was here in the lab with me, I'd have you bang something out for me, but I'm pretty sure we'll have something to run over this later on, so they'll be able to hear some tasteful stuff.
You know what? Real quick, let me show you something. I am at home, and Battlecat has one of these too. But we were blessed to be in on the first group of people to get the new SP 2400. Remember the SP 1200?
Yeah.
Now this drum machine ain't even on the market yet. And I know Battlecat got one, and I got one. There she blows.
Ooh.
That's the SP 2400. It does everything the SP 1200 did, but does it better. It's user friendly. I mean, it's so new. It hasn't even come out with it. They don't even have a what do you call it? A owner's manual yet. It's so new.
When is that expected to hit the market?
Huh?
When is that expected to hit the market?
Oh, jeez. I would think at the end of the year. And see, what we did was we pre-ordered. Myself, Battle Cat, we pre-ordered when they weren't even made yet. So when you pre-order, you paid, it was $900. When you paid that, they would make yours and then they would send it to you. So it took about a year. And we finally got ours, $900. But now, if you want to buy it, I think they're going to be like 25, maybe $3,500 on the market. I think. I'm not sure. But they're new. Like you see mine still in the box. I played with it for a minute. It's very user friendly. It's self-explanatory and it works like a charm. So the guys at Isla Instruments, they did their thing on that. The SP12, the SP2400 is the business and it is back.
I'll be looking for me one.
Yes,
Definitely.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, sir. I thank you for coming in.
All right.
And I'll touch bases with you real soon.
All right, y'all. One love, man.
And splice it, I'll say whatever it was. They were like, okay, this is normally where we would go into the lab and I let you display one of your masterpieces, but this time we gonna do mine.
Cool, I thought that was it, nigga. I was recording.
Ah, you got me, motherfucker.
All right.